I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
This is O'Shea Jackson. You're listening to TFU Podcast, if you didn't know.
Welcome into another episode of the TFU Podcast. Today, we have a legend in the house, actor, writer, director, producer, Mykelti Williamson.
Yeah, man, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alejandro. AD, it's so good to see you, man.
Man, I'm so glad you had the opportunity to come share this space with us. Man, we totally appreciate you. I think people are going to actually learn something from this interview because you're a master of your craft. And honestly, I know a lot of actors, but I know none like you.
Oh, wow.
I hope
none. That's good.
No, that's amazing because you know what? They don't come in. I think people different now. I don't know. I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know what it is, but I just think you come from a place where you earned it.
Yes, sir.
And it seems like nowadays you can do certain things to kind of skip the line. You can kind of skip the line. I know. And I think that you're living proof of that you can't skip the line if you want to reach this kind of level.
Yeah. That's true. That's absolutely the truth. Listen, what I do as I sit here, I don't do alone. There's a lot of people praying for me all the time, around the globe. And there's a lot of wonderful people on my team now. I've had some ups and downs with selections. Like I said, first you make a decision, then your decision makes you.
Right.
So I picked some managers that didn't benefit me. Mm-hmm. I picked some agents that didn't really benefit me. And I'm always trying to help figure out a way to benefit somebody else's family, especially if that's a family cat or this person is talking about getting married. I want to add value to that. I want the show to succeed so these people can have that elevated life, right? Let me give you an example of something. There's a cat who's an actor, has a twin sister. Mm-hmm. He's from Canada. And his mom was on the very early team that helped design the breakfast program for the Black Panthers and their children. That actor is Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay.
So Kiefer's mom was the lady that was with the Black Panthers helping them engineer their breakfast program. She would go out with her face, the way she represents, and appeal to people across all kinds of cultural lines to feed these children, these babies. And this is why these men are carrying these weapons. This just da-da-da. And this is, but look at what they're really doing. And look at how they're educating their children. Come by, come see. And random folk would sneak. They didn't want other white folks to know they was coming. Mm-hmm. And they would watch. And they would go, wow, I had no idea. So Kiefer told me that story, man.
No, that's amazing. And
isn't it
to be honest, that says a lot about him and his character because in the series 24, which you were in, right, he made the president black.
Yeah, he did.
So he was already doing different stuff and moving us forward.
But that's Kiefer. That's how he rolls. He's always rolled like that. I did a movie with Kiefer called Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen it, you should see it.
I know that's one of your favorite
Yeah,
That's one of your
the
movies.
projects I
that you
enjoy
love.
making the most. I just loved it, man. And our brother Martin Sheen showed up, did a cameo. I'm not gonna spoil it. Look who showed up for us when we were making this movie. Kiefer was directing. He was the first person to tell me, "I'm not gonna be able to pay you your salary, but this is what I think is respectful based on our budget. Is that okay?" I said, "You know what, man? Yeah, that's good." He said, "I'm going to make this Favorite Nations, this number every cast member is going to get. Now, I'm going to get a little more because I'm directing and I'm producing." I said, "Oh, yeah, I know how you move your money over there to that neighborhood.
Right.
I could do that too, right?"
Right.
So I was like, cool, man. So we all took that fee and we made this movie, man. And there's one out right now called The Last Rodeo I made with Neil McDonough, John Avnet directing, you know, and Derek Presley, co-writer. Man, the cast on this thing is phenomenal, brother, and I'm really proud of it because I like making movies that can be tough, scary, make you laugh, make you cry, make a dude turn his head like so nobody see it coming down, right? The man tear, we get you with the man tears too. It's all right, right? But a lot of the stuff that I think is disrespectful of my audience, I don't do. I don't politicize my art. I just don't. And I'll tell you a story about that too. Why? Because I've never told this live to anybody.
Okay.
But I don't politicize my art because I see what it does to me when somebody politicizes any element of their life. Cultural, religious, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Political. If you go around in public and you're willing to alienate a sector of human beings that God can use you to connect to, why would you cut those people off over there because this group of people that you know live next door to you don't like them? So what's that got to do with who you supposed to be? This is my ministry, man. I try to reach everybody. And somebody said, "You know you called to the ministry." I said, "Yeah, I know. And that's what I do." So I ain't trying to get up in the church because people act too dumb, man. I wouldn't not be a good pastor. I'd be like, "Hey, don't even come back to my church. Listen, man.
Don't come back.
Here, I'm going to get you an Uber, you and your family an Uber to go to that church, round trip next Sunday. And I hope you like it. But don't come back here no more."
That is too funny.
I'm serious, man. That's me. I ain't about nonsense, brother. It makes no sense. We've become so sensitive as a society that we can be completely controlled.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. That's absolutely true.
Listen, Booker T. Washington in his book, My Larger Education. This cat back in the late 1800s coined this phrase. It's called problem profiteers. I'll come help you because you got a problem. And then I'm going to make sure I profit, but I'm going to fix that problem for you. Right. What you don't know is a problem profiteer, as soon as he helps you and that's the end of it, there's no residual income. So I have to expose as a problem profiteer, or a problem profiteer has to expose that there's another problem in a way that people buy in.
Got it.
Well, yeah, that's how I feel. I'm important. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do. I want to do. I want to be this. I want to be that. So if somebody tells me I'm not black and I'm white, then I can sue them.
Right.
And then wait a minute now, y'all. Come on, keep your seatbelt on. Stop. But figure out if you've been made so sensitive that you can be easily controlled. What's your kryptonite?
Yeah.
What's your kryptonite?
What's my kryptonite?
Yeah, man.
People telling me that I can't do something. Because I feel like, you know, I had a special upbringing. My father was the kind of father that told me I could do anything. And you know what? I believed him. He told me every single day. I'd be like, Dad, I think I want to be president. He'd be like, son, I really think that you can do that. Right. You just got to start working towards it. And that's exactly who he was. But the reason why my father was the way he was is because my grandfather, John Dolphin, is one of the pioneers in the music business. So my grandfather was one of the first black producers ever. All the famous producers after him learned from him. So,
I told you I met your grandfather when I was a little boy at Dolphins
crazy.
of Hollywood.
Dolphins of Hollywood. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mr. Dolphin would be in there a lot of the times and he would wave at you. They had a little radio station back in the back right there. Mm-hmm. He was spinning the music right there and blowing it outside, and black folks was dancing all outside going.
Exactly.
You drive by and listen to what Dolphins of Hollywood was blowing. Right. You go, oh, dude, I had to pull over, man. I was rolling by Dolphins of Hollywood. Man, I heard this track. And then they hear it on a 45. And it's like,
right.
Right? And you play it and they go, I'm going to get that for my girl. Yeah, I'm going to play it for my woman. Yeah, I'm going. And they go to Dolphins and get a 45.
There you go.
Or an album. Yeah, it was your grandfather was instrumental in my belief that I could be everything I wanted to be.
Exactly.
He just was.
So that's how, my father had the opportunity to see that.
Right.
So he believed that to be true for anybody that was around him, for his kids, and anybody that wanted to do something. He always came from the perspective that anything was possible. You just got to work for it, because he saw what my grandfather did. My grandfather, like I said, first black producer ever. He was able to help you make the music.
Right.
Put the music on the radio. That's right. And then turn around and sell the music.
Right.
And he's the first business ever to be 24/7. He started it in the United States.
Wow. Yeah, that's he was crazy. Something else, man. Your grandfather was something special.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was tremendously special, man.
At what age did you decide to pursue a career in like the film industry?
I was actually called to it. It wasn't really a decision, it was a desire first. You understand what I just said to you?
Yeah.
First, it was a desire.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So you knew you wanted to be on TV.
Just didn't know how. And so I told my family, and they said, pray about it. I said, okay. And I'm sorry I threw that rock, broke that window, didn't tell nobody, Lord, but forgive me. We was just having fun, and I'm a kid, but I want to be in the movies. I want to be on TV. And that was my prayer, man.
It's crazy. Steve said the same thing. Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Because that's my guy. Yeah, he said the exact same thing. He didn't know how he wanted to do it, and that's what he wanted to do. He knew it from the jump. So I know when I was looking at your stuff, it seems like your information. So you wanted to be an actor at 9? You start acting around 9?
Yeah. I was singers start out in church, gospel singing.
Right.
Well, there was a church play in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
At my family's church, they all attended. And on a Friday night, this woman left the rehearsal and pulled her son out of it, and he was a lead. Mm-hmm. So my aunt said, wait a minute, I got a nephew I think can do that. And so she came home, and there was a grown folks conversation. Y'all get out of here. There's grown folks talking, right? Because, the kids sit around you. And they talked about what's the best way to do this. Should we tell him it'll really help the church? I think he can do it. Yeah, we think he could do it too. So they had a little powwow, brought me in, and told me. I was like, when do I go on stage? They said, tomorrow? They said, no, you rehearse tomorrow.
Right.
And then Sunday. But you can't mess it up. I'm not. You really can't mess it up. I'm not. You can't mess it up. I'm not. Boy, don't talk over me. I'm grown, right? It was that stuff, right?
Right.
I'm sorry. All right. But I'm not going to mess it up. And when I did it, it was a standing ovation in the church. Damn. And I was like, oh, man, what?
That's awesome.
The people, because I was living through it. I was like really the only person really trying to act. Everybody else was saying stuff. And I was like, how come you're not like trying to be that person? I'm the king, right? And I couldn't figure out why they didn't want to be the king. They wanted to be whoever they were. With their new dress on, or new pants, new suit, whatever. I was that dude, man. So, but that's how it started for me. I was dancing back in the day with a dance group. Like all the locking and the popping and the whole.
Did you ever make it to Soul Train?
Listen, man, come on, all the time.
You was at Soul Train?
Brother, all the time.
I love it.
I was getting that box of chicken with a soda.
Okay.
That's what we got every Sunday.
Okay.
You know, Saturdays, I think it's 2 shows on Saturday they record, and then 2 shows on Sunday they record it. And then you go home. And it was at up on Sunset at KT TV.
Okay.
Channel 11.
Right.
And Don Cornelius had the biggest afro.
The
man,
biggest.
Smooth. Big old rascal. He was smooth, man. So, yeah, I was on there dancing. For a couple of years, I would go on and off of Soul Train. And I decided, I don't want to keep doing this. I want to make me some money. I want to monetize this. So I would, when the lockers were out, I had my own group. My group, and then I was another group that would call me because they were the selected alternates for the lockers. And there was a cat, Leo, and Michael Frankie. We called him Peekaboo.
Okay. So
it was Leo, Michael Frankie, Peekaboo, and me. They called me Hot Dog, right? So we were, because I was, and another cat, Skeeter Rabbit. So Skeeter was, to me, had the coldest game. And I think I was like, I think Leo and I were pretty equal. Then I think I had Leo beat a little bit. And then Leo went in the military, and then everybody just kind of went different ways, you know.
Okay.
But we were making some cheese. We would show up as alternates for the lockers, and it was cool, man. We made a little money.
So you was a locker for Soul Train?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is? When I look at you, you look like you're 15 years old, man.
Yeah.
You don't look like you was ever in a million years during that era because you look so young, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, definitely keep doing it because it's definitely paying off. I also know when you were your first experience on TV, how you got your SAG card was through Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true.
How'd you get that opportunity?
Well, from the dance group, I was part of another dance group that I won't mention.
Okay.
By name.
Okay.
Right. And so I would drive to Compton to go roll with these cats, and we were good. And so we ended up with an agent saw us, a black agent saw us, Ernestine McClendon. She was the first black agent in Hollywood. She was a dancer from Broadway, so she loved us as dancers and what we did. So one day we signed with Ernestine McClendon.
Got it.
And about 2 weeks in, week and a half, I went to the office and met her. She wanted to meet everybody in person, and she was cool. I was like, I like her. And she just kept looking at me. You're an actor already, aren't you? I said, yes, ma'am. And the dudes in the group was like, man, shut up, man. Right. You could feel it, but I was like, yes, ma'am. But I was happy to be there. If that's going to help us, yes.
Right.
You know, and so flash forward, a couple weeks after that, I call her and I said, no, I had checked in every couple of weeks. And then there was something said, call your agent, just say hello. So I called. I just called to say hello, I didn't really want anything. I'm just happy to have a really good agent. I just want to say thank you. Because I'm smiling a whole lot more now than I used to, right? But thank you, ma'am. And so she was like, boy, where you been? I said, ma'am. She said, did your dance group tell you I've been looking for you? I said, no, ma'am. She said, could you go in an audition today if I could make it happen? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, it's going to be up in Hollywood. Can you get there? You have transportation? I said, yes, ma'am, I do. So she said, stay by the phone. I'm going to call you back. So she calls back. She said, can you go see Joel Thurm and she gave me the address. And I went over, met Mr. Joel Thurm and auditioned for him. And when I got home, I had the job because we didn't have cell phones and pagers and all that stuff back then. You either stopped and hit a payphone or you kept your behind in the car where it was safe, take your behind home, right? And then make your phone calls. And I got that job. So when it was Starsky and Hutch. So when the group found out, a couple days went by and we had a rehearsal. Mm-hmm. So nobody called me back about rehearsal. We didn't have answering machines, but I called everybody, right? That's when we had phones that had a cord behind it and you'd be like dragging the cord, right? Right, remember that? That's what I grew up with, right? So I'm dragging the phone back in my room, trying to make stuff happen, right? I finally said, I'm just going to this rehearsal, man, because I don't want a no-show. So if I get there and they're rehearsing, great. If somebody's sick, somebody ain't feeling well, something happened, you know, then I just come on back. So I get there, everybody's car, I'm like, oh, cool. So I go in, I go, boom, boom, and I walk in, man, what's happening, y'all? And they're like, so every single one of them. And I was like, how you doing, man? How's your dad? And, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, it's okay. Oh, so the next step is like this, like that, but just like throwing shade. So I stayed for the full rehearsal to make sure I saw what I saw.
Right.
I didn't leave with no attitude. I said, all right, y'all, take it easy. I didn't cut out like, he mad. I ain't no girl, dude. I'm serious. Now, somebody will probably get offended at that because we're too sensitive now.
It's
but
true.
I'm glad I'm not a girl.
Right.
So I get a vote over here. Don't nobody else get no vote up here.
Exactly.
I'm glad. So I was glad, right? So I just didn't go back.
So do you think that they were upset that you had got that role on TV?
But you know what? We never know what other people think.
That's true.
I'm just telling you my experience.
Right. No,
how
I
it
get
all
it.
came at me, what I saw. Because that's the truth. That was my experience.
Yeah.
I was not in their head.
Right.
I don't know. I got no idea, brother.
Now, I know also you've played in, as far as TV goes, movies go, you've had over 300 roles, 300 plus roles?
Yes, sir.
What was your first movie, your very, very first movie? And how'd you get that role?
Well, I auditioned for a movie directed by Timothy Galfus. I believe that was the director's name. And the movie star was Joey Travolta.
Damn.
John Travolta was as hot as he was hot as a blue
And he
flame.
was a dancer too. Yeah.
And JT was as hot as a blue flame, right? And his brother is another sharp looking guy.
Uh-huh.
So they were like, so I made a movie with Joey Travolta that starred Joey called Sunnyside.
Okay.
And I was a gangster, like a little street gangster who carried an ice pick. And I learned a valuable lesson on that movie because sometimes you can be too real and too good that it scares people.
They thought you was really in a gang.
And when I was doing my scene, and I could tell the guy who's not a black person, that I put the ice pick up to his face.
Uh-huh.
I could tell he really felt some kind of way, like fearful for his life. Mm-hmm. So they gave me a fake ice pick. He still felt fearful for his life because he thought I was angry now because they took my real ice pick away. And I was going to hurt him. But he was so convinced I was going to tear him a new one.
Right.
That they backed me up off of him so far that all you see is a hand. I took my girlfriend to see the movie. Watch me in this scene right here. Mm-hmm. All you saw was my hand and the dude's face.
That's funny.
I was like, I'm at the drive-in, got my girl.
Right.
You know, you got the speaker in the window. You know, turn the speaker up. Or you lean across to hit the speaker, and your girl right here, you be like, get that, you know.
Right.
Man, we had a good time, brother, when I was coming up, man. Good, clean fun. It was fun, man.
Man. So I know you've done a lot of like amazing movies.
Yeah.
You know, and we could talk about, I just wanted to talk about a few. Everybody always going to run Forrest Gump because that's, you know, do you consider that one of your biggest?
Well,
maybe not the one you most enjoy, but
it doesn't have anything to do with me.
Right.
It is what it is.
But you were a character actor.
Yeah.
Which,
I am. That's what I do.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right.
You bleed into, like, you know, if you watch any movie, like, you're different. Like, I feel like you even change your posture and stuff like that.
Voice, everything.
Everything.
No,
Everything.
I was watching Justified, and I was like, because I remember, because I actually love that show. I really, really love that show. And I was like, that's not his voice. And I was like, oh, no, he really wear this. He really do this for real.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I know it was an incredible situation that happened for you to actually acquire the role with for Forrest Gump. Maybe you could share that. Yeah.
Sure. First of all, you get good roles because you have incredible people behind you helping you. This is a team sport. A lot of cats jump up in front and you think it's just them. Nah, man. It's agents, managers, attorneys, family, just mentors, just the people, you know, that pour into your life like I poured into your life, you know. And it's like they just want to fill you up. And so that's the first thing I want to say is that's how we get to where we are.
Right.
Now, I did a movie called, I had two students come to me with an audition for something called Forrest Gump. So all we had was the pages. So, but I felt, well, you should play it like this. But the part was written as like a big, strong guy, big, strong Bubba takes care of Forrest.
Right.
But in the book, Bubba was not a brother. Bubba was just a big American dude.
Right.
Right? So this woman named Wendy Feinerman took 14 years to get this movie made. And so I found that out. I'm like, this is probably going to be a really good movie. And who's in it? Tom Hanks. So I was trying to show my two students what to do, right?
Right.
They were like, nah, coach, it ain't like that. It's like, I said, well, let's do what you feel comfortable with and make sure you tell the truth with it. Let me get you in shape. How do you feel? You like it? They go, yeah. You happy? They say, yeah. All right, cool. You get the gig, you know. You got to break me off $1,500. Right? Right. But we cool. When you get the gig, $1,500, homie. Right? So that's how I roll. So the same thing with the second brother. He wouldn't listen to me. He had his interpretation, so I helped them both.
Right.
When they did not get a call back, they did not get a bite, I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, how did it go? They said, nothing. They moved on, no call back. I said, okay, would you mind if I went in on the same role? No, man, not at all. I said, okay. I called the other cat. You mind? I went in on a Saturday. They gave me a Saturday appointment.
Right.
And this is not to disrespect anybody, but listen, production people have a flow. They've got stuff going on. If you call them for a favor, they squeeze it in where they squeeze it in.
Right.
Man. People ain't necessarily trying to be funny by seeing me on a Saturday. So I want everybody to understand that too. They're doing my agent a favor.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't get in on the audition. My agent first called me back and said, they said they don't know you. I said, man, come on, man. I'm teaching 2 scrubs. What are you talking about? They don't know me. These dudes won't even listen.
Right.
Scrubs, right? So they got me in on a Saturday. I went in, I stuffed my lip and did my whole thing and did the interpretation of the character. And they asked me, all right, can we match you up with, and they matched me up with Tommy Hanks.
So they knew we had something. Immediately. You call in the star, we was like, we got something.
Right.
You don't know it. So you automatically changed the role in a sense.
It's just my interpretation of
I get
whether it be a song, a way you season a steak,
right,
the way you cook an egg, whatever it is, the way you grow bananas. It's like it's just your style.
Was it on the script, the lip thing, or that's all you?
No, none of that. None of that. No character description. Just dialogue back
How
and
did
forth.
it go with the read with Tom Hanks?
So they matched me up with Tommy Hanks, and then Hanks and I are sitting across a table that's a little bit wider than this table. We're sitting across from each other, and we're being observed by everybody from my left, his right. And we're doing an exchange, doing the scene back and forth. And Hanks is kicking me under the table. Like, yeah, man.
You killing it.
And that was it. The rest was history, man. We started rehearsing. The filmmakers, like I said, Wendy Feinerman, Bob Zemeckis, the director, the producers, they were kind enough to let me go down to South Carolina early and start doing my shrimping research on like what shrimpers really do. And Bob Zemeckis, they made it part of the production costs. So I was able to prepare, and then we all rehearsed together. We read the script every day. We read the script for 2 days. No, we spent 2 days reading the script and discussing the script.
Mm-hmm.
And we read it out loud the second day, and then we discussed it.
So since you had changed basically the way the character was going to be perceived on TV, did they start changing what they had written previously to fit your character now?
But see, here's the thing.
Okay.
They didn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
They saw an interpretation.
Same word, same everything.
Exactly.
Different interpretation.
That's correct.
I love that. I love that. And it's funny because I know you used to teach a class based on different interpretations. Right. Everybody within the class, 20 people in the class,
right.
All 20 of them give their version of that same, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the character workshop. And the number 20, you have a really good memory, AD, because it's 10 actors and they each do 2 scenes, so there's 20 performances.
Right.
With different interpretations. Same words. You don't add any words, nothing. Word for word, and it's a completely different human being.
That's tough.
No, it ain't. That's what I do.
Nah. I mean, his performance pretty much created a whole chain of restaurants.
Right. Yeah, and that gets me, because this is the part that's so crazy. I'm thinking, oh, no, he's one of the owners. He's part of that.
No. Now, listen. When you don't have the right team around you, I think both sides of a success miss opportunities. Because if I felt honored and respected instead of exploited, I can open channels that you can monetize that you can never open without me.
Absolutely.
Right? So why do you just want you to get paid and I don't get paid? That's good enough for you? Imagine if you treat me right.
Right.
Give me some real participation.
Yes.
Not to hurt yourself. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about do what's right. Because the people that came before you didn't. So you could fix that.
Mm-hmm. So you've never, ever been to the restaurant?
I've never been to one of those restaurants.
Never been to the restaurant?
Nope.
It was basically built around you.
I know.
Did they ever attempt to have a conversation with you?
No. Here's what, it's interesting because I was invited to a grand opening of one of the restaurants, but what was extended was transportation on our jet, accommodations. In exchange, you will do press. We're gonna have the press there.
Okay, so basically, do press.
We're gonna have the press because you're gonna be cool to people when they walk up to you and love your movie anyway.
Right.
So, so I said, how about some stock?
Okay.
And then it was crickets after that.
Okay.
But it's not a lost opportunity. It's a missed opportunity.
Definitely on their part.
But the opportunity's still alive. As long as they're still alive, I'm still alive.
The restaurants are still here.
They could do so well if we put our assets together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope they come into that understanding at some point, brother. you know?
Right, because those restaurants are still here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You have a lot of friends in the industry
that's right.
that can make appearances,
Right.
and you know.
That's exactly right. That's right.
Definitely. So did the movie company go off and build that by themselves? Because I don't see how they... I was just trying to figure out with trademarks, copyright, how do they get away from the movie if the movie people weren't involved? Were they involved in that part of the business too?
Well, that's a Gulf Western company.
Okay.
So they're about making some money. Mm-hmm. And so am I. So I'm like, man, can you imagine if these folks at the restaurants came to me and we put our heads together, but they haven't made me feel like I should even approach them?
Right.
Because I got some ideas, you and me, stuff we talk about.
Right. And a lot of people don't know you own a brand of seasoning.
Right.
You brand and
Right.
that's
And
amazing.
That's amazing. And you helped me. But, you know, it's cool. It's coming.
right.
We're coming.
There you go.
How is it working with Robert Zemeckis?
What do you mean? Be more specific.
Oh, like he's known for doing a lot of like big scale Hollywood movies,
Okay.
and then Forrest Gump, pretty big scale. Like, how is his directing style? Is he very actor, like, you know, always talking to the actor, or more in the technical side, big picture?
Everybody that worked on Forrest Gump was the best in their game. We didn't have any scrubs. None. Zero. So when you glove up and jump in the ring at that level, the first thing I want to caution people against is being so impressed with what others have accomplished that you don't shine through what you've accomplished. I ain't scared of nobody, man. I'm serious. And I don't mean that it's not even a possibility for me to be intimidated. Because if I saw a guy in college once that was so good, and the opening night of this show, I went back every night for 3 weeks and watched him.
Wow.
And then I said, yeah, I'll dust this dude off. I got him. But the first night it shook me like, you got to study this dude. He's doing some things that you don't have in your... So I came back that night and he missed some of those moments. And I was like, he didn't do that. He just kind of going for it. The third night I saw him, it was different then. I was like, he's not really
He
on
wasn't
a consistent
polished.
journey. You're supposed to be on a journey, which is why television is so risky as far as your stress levels are concerned, because you start out in television on a series, it could be ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many people who can't be satisfied sharing. I don't know if they were able to share when they were little kids or what. You know what I'm saying? But they feel like they got to pull out of the crowd of everybody and make the show about them and their character journey. And I'm like, I ain't going to fight you with that. I'm going to make my character so interesting that you will swear it's like, man, he steals every scene he's in. Because it's a real human being, and I respect the people I play, even if I disagree with them.
Right.
I respect that. And I respect the fact that everybody's somebody's child. That's why my characters look and feel like they do. Sometimes if they're hardcore, they're ashamed of themselves because they're somebody's child. And I want the person that's looking like, this is just like my son. My son ain't this awful. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he feel bad. See? That's just like Pookie. He feel bad. Now the audiences go, man, you're practically irresistible to, you know what I mean, to audiences, because they know you are going to represent them. You ain't going to pick this group or this group to publicly represent so they can release and go with me on the journey. Here's what entertain means, man. A lot of cats, I talked about rap being rhythmic African poetry. Entertain, the etymology of the word entertain means to enter and hold captive. When you are being detained, you're being held captive. When you retain information, it's held captive. When you contain something, it's contained, it's being held captive, right? And a trapped, like a convict in a container.
Okay.
Trapped.
Wow.
Y'all heard me? You heard the messages, right?
I definitely,
Okay.
I heard all of them.
Right. Okay, bet. So with that understanding comes a tremendous responsibility, because people have no idea what we're doing to them. We enter and we hold them captive, but when you do, they don't know it. You just slipped in on them. But that's why I'm respectful of other human beings, all of us, in that way. I'm not going to do stuff, if I can avoid it. Well, your grandmother, you hope grandma don't walk in. I don't want to be in that movie, man, if your grandmother can't walk in and go, hey, what y'all watching? And all y'all can't watch it. It could be, we watched gangster movies coming up. We watched all kind of stuff. We watched lies like Tarzan. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it was entertainment, but that was the biggest lie ever been perpetrated on civilization. One of them is Tarzan.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like,
the king of the jungle.
On, boy, the king of the jungle. Yeah, right. Right.
Also, I wanted to ask you about, so I know, and I don't even really know how to approach this because I just really want you to share it. And it's about Al Pacino, how he came into your life. Because it's such a beautiful story.
I love Al. Well, listen, man, some of my, I became really dear friends with a cat named George C. Scott. And we were tight, man. I got in some trouble, and George C. contributed to my defense in big ways.
Got it.
And I was able to circle back and plug that back into his estate after his passing. You know, so George C. had my back, man. We'll talk about George C. Scott at some time. But Al Pacino, I met Al because after Forrest Gump came out, I did not get a nomination. And I had auditioned for Heat in November and didn't hear anything. So this is February. My manager at the time called me and she said, Al Pacino wants to meet you. I said, it's Saturday. I just got bait. I got my pastor homeboy with me, so he's trying to help me stop cussing. You messing up. I'm about to try to stop cussing. I got my boy. I've been going fishing, right? She said, well, Al Pacino wants to meet you. Maybe you could learn to stop cussing later. I said, I guess I can. I'll work on that. So I said, hey, man, I'm going to meet Al Pacino, blah, 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 blah. So I went to Michael Mann's office. They said, they want to put you in Heat. I said, really? Okay, cool. And Michael's sitting there, and we catch up. Michael's an amazing cat, man. God, dog. I could go on and on about this man. He's the truth. He's what you see. And he's one of the guys in Hollywood who's not two-faced.
Got it.
Michael give you his word, and that's it. And if you try to turn on him, he'll say, hey, what did I tell you? I'm the same way. But now people are so sensitive. I hear people go, oh, I heard about him and his reputation. I'm like, you just too sensitive, man.
Right.
He asked for this, bring him that, or get word to him you're having trouble finding that. Is there an option? Don't show up with that other thing. That ain't what he asked you for, right? So
it makes sense.
Do it, yeah, just do it right. Now he's got to go, I didn't ask for this. You didn't call and warn me so I could start thinking about options. It dang sure ain't that what you brought. I'm irritated. Just we'll do it. I'll talk to you later. And he goes back to his office because he's got a lot of stuff to do. He ain't got time.
Right.
And people are like, oh. Now I just made up that scenario.
Right.
But that's Michael's personality. It's just like mine. Time is the most valuable commodity we have, man. It's the only commodity nobody's making more of. So that's why I told you when I hit the door, AD, y'all supposed to be rolling.
Ready. Yeah.
That's on me. That's on me. My
I already
apologies.
know that. You ain't tell me that.
Because he was well warned.
But you put him in charge, and you see. Now you see. So that's a growth area, is all that is.
I appreciate it, and I'm gonna grow from it.
And you gonna? Or you have already?
I have.
Thank you for allowing me to pour into you. I want you full. I want you to get everything God's got for you. You're a good person, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but you really are. This got nothing to do with me. It's the way you live. Keep it up. But we'll keep pouring into you, man. I ain't scared.
I need a little seasoning in me.
No, you got the seasoning because you said seasoning. You got it already. That flavor, that's your flavor, man. Just walk in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And walk high, bruh. Add value. You know, that's it. Just add value, man.
So you were meeting at Michael Mann's.
Yeah, so we meet at Michael Mann's office. And, you know, we embrace, catch up from old times.
Right.
Because I did Miami Vice with him. He wanted me to be Tubbs, but I was way too young. I could not have done that awesome job that Philip Michael Thomas did. I was too young. Philip Michael Thomas was amazing. And Michael was like, "You're just too young." I was like, "I know.
Right.
But you got something else for me?" And he put me in the pilot and brought me back multiple times. So that's how I met Michael.
Okay.
So we're catching up. And then around the corner, I hear footsteps and I hear some singing all off pitch, right? I'm like, he said, here comes your guy. So I look to my left and Al Pacino comes around this row of desks. He comes from another area and he comes around. He's coming right at me. And then he stops and he does this. And then I got my butt out of that chair and I did it right back. I was like, and then we hugged. He was like, "Thank you for coming."
And that was your first meeting with him?
That was my first meeting with him. And we talked, we caught up, and he said, "Hey, Mikey, tell him why he's here." So Michael said, we cast another guy to play Al's partner. But Al said, "Let me tell it." I told Mike, "You pay him off, I'll pay the Michael T. kid. Because he got robbed. You got robbed." He said, that's the first thing he said to me. And he kissed my face and he said, "I'm so sorry you got robbed." And I didn't know what he was talking about. And when we sat down, he said, "You did not get a nomination for Forrest Gump and it's criminal."
I heard that.
He said, "Don't you ever be discouraged." He says, "I wanted to meet you to tell you, do not let that discourage you. You were amazing." Wow. He said, "I wanted to tell you that personally, and I wanted to know you." He was like, "Oh, man, you moved me."
And I'm sure at that time, even still, he's one of the biggest actors in the world.
Right.
Now, how did that feel coming from him?
It blessed me, man.
I heard that.
It blessed me. And I was like, okay, I won't. So, but those are the things you pour into other people. Because if Alejandro did not matter to me, I wouldn't pour anything. I wouldn't correct him. I just let him go down that path. I refuse to do that unless somebody gives me like attitude or something. Then it's like, go ahead. Yeah, you could bump your head too. It might take you 9 years to learn what I could give you right now. You know, and you missed 9 years of opportunities because you didn't have that lesson. You walked past what that lesson was for.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was playing basketball, when you play a sport, if the coach doesn't talk to you, sometimes people would be like, "Nah, the coach didn't say nothing to me. That's good." It's because, like you said, he's not pouring into you for whatever reason that is. But when sometimes people take criticism coming from the coach, they think they're doing bad. Nah, he's just actually here to help you get better.
He's directing your path.
Yeah, there you go. He's making sure you take advantage of all your opportunities out there.
But if you're around me, AD, you know I'm like this, man.
No, I know.
Young guns are coming up. You know, young sisters and brothers coming up.
Absolutely.
I pour into them. It's like, man, but if you really listen to what I'm telling you, you have fewer headaches. You're still going to have the headaches you're supposed to have.
Right.
You're going to bump your head where you're going to bump it.
Right. Now, you talk about pouring into people. So I know this is the thing that I found shocking when I was just searching information about you is you directed or you helped film an NWA video?
Yeah.
Now that was crazy. Maybe you can explain it like you acted in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I heard this group one day, NWA. Mm-hmm. And Boys in the Hood. And it was coming out of trunks outside parties and clubs. And so we buy them. Pardon me. I thought they were funky.
Uh-huh. Oh, you liked them instantly?
Yeah, I thought they were dangerous. But I thought they was funky, man. So I was like, I like these cats. So then fast forward. I said, man, I'd like to do something with these cats. I don't know what that is, but I'd like to do something with these cats. Something. And I was thinking on the movie side. So then a friend of mine was a producer on the Straight Outta Compton music video. And she called me. She said, you still have your Super 16 camera? I said, yeah. She said, is it ready to go like as fast as tomorrow? I said, yeah. So I told her I had, 2 magazines. I got 3 magazines, got a black bag. I got everything I need. You know, I got a small light kit. So she said, can you be on the set of this show tomorrow? She said, this music video in Compton, blah, 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 blah. But you're probably just going to shoot portable. I said, okay. So I have my rig ready. And she said, now, also, can you be in it? I said, what? She said, can you be in it? We need somebody to play cops, and we don't want just a white cop. We want a black cop, too. I said, oh, okay. I said, you don't have anybody and you shooting tomorrow? She said, well, I'm only telling you this because I'm stuck and you're my friend. The other guy was too scared to come to Compton.
Wow.
I said, really?
The other black guy? Whoa.
So I said, okay. All right, I got you. So I show up and I give them my sizes, talk to some more people on her team. So I go in as like the second unit director. Mm-hmm. Get a shot list, and I do what I'm given, and I even add some cool stuff that's in. I won't talk about specific shots because I ain't trying to start no problems. Mm-hmm. But there's some cool stuff in that video, you know, from everybody. So,
what was the name of the song?
Straight Outta Compton.
That was the song. Okay, I thought it was, but I wasn't really sure.
Yeah. So this is what happened. We were in an area like inside of a school, but we were sheltered by buildings. And we shot inside where we could be sheltered by buildings and no drive-by shootings and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And there were cops on the perimeter. And I show up. They want me to do the acting stuff first. I said, I thought y'all wanted me to shoot something. She said, we do. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Then we want to get the guys going out. We go out, and when a car drives by, these brothers are real NWA, all of them. And they looking like who's going slow, rolling by. They're watching. Mm-hmm. They're back. So I was like, oh, yeah, you in Compton.
Yeah.
So there was one car that came back again, and fortunately they were just looking. They didn't do anything, but these cats, they were not playing. I ain't gonna tell you who had what.
Right.
But they were not playing around, man. And I said, wow. So y'all send me out here on the street to get this stuff, and y'all stay safe back there. That was my thought at the time.
Exactly.
I don't know how true that was, but I was like, oh, maybe this is how I got this job, right? But yeah, man, Straight Outta Compton. But that's when I met Easy, their whole bodyguard team, Mustafa, DJ Yella, Ren, MC Ren, Ice Cube, Dre, Snoop, all of them. And Snoop wasn't really with them, but Snoop was cool with them. Yeah.
Right. Now, I know it's supposed to be sensitive. I think you mentioned, or someone mentioned when I was doing my research, there was a hit on Easy.
That's what the word was.
Oh, okay. That's what the word was.
That's what the word was.
Okay.
But you don't know what the word is. But I just, if that's true or not.
Right.
But these cats, they wasn't playing. They were not. It was not going down
as
on
if
their
it was
watch.
true. Yeah.
But any nonsense, it wasn't jumping off with NWA. It just wasn't, man. They was cool, but they definitely wasn't taking no shorts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's cool.
And when you're on set on Straight Outta Compton, did you know that Ice Cube was gonna become this type of actor? You later shared the screen in Three Kings.
No, I didn't know it. But they all stood out for different reasons. Everybody. There's an MC, Ren. Mm-hmm. That brother stood out, man. He's a giant. Yeah, that was a giant. You could just feel that he was a giant. He was the real deal. You could feel the same thing about every single one of them. They were just the real deal. They were real, And yeah. So I can tell you that, but you never know if somebody, you're going to be a big star. It's like, man, you don't know that. Be quiet. You could say it, but.
Right.
I tell everybody the truth or I'm quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of the things I would like to share is that my life got a whole lot better when I started giving people the gift of distance. Select people who deserve considerably less or more distance than others. Mm-hmm. But that's a gift, especially if it keeps you focused.
Right.
There are friends who adore me. When I see them, they overeat. And I'm like, I don't want, and they're like, I'm like, it's not a negotiation, man. You get to overeat. Next time I'm in town, I'm not even going to call you because you keep on trying to bully me into like being fat. I'm not doing it. So if y'all want to break bread, let me eat what I eat and y'all go for it. But don't try to taste this. Come on, man.
How do you stay in shape? What's your secret? Because obviously you got some secrets over there.
Yeah, my background is pugilism.
Okay. I'm not sure what that is.
That's hand-to-hand combat.
Oh.
You got a black belt in Taekwondo?
No, I don't have anything in Taekwondo.
No? Okay.
I took some Taekwondo lessons, but that's a sport. Yeah. The stuff that I do is, I actually would rather not talk about it specifically. Mm-hmm. But I only want to use it to save people's lives. My dad taught me different styles of combat, and my dad used to say, to kill a man only proves you lack creativity. Because you can put an ass whooping on somebody, and then they'll look at you and realize you really would rather not go further. Brother, I was trying to talk to you, man. You know what I mean? So that's just my journey is not to be like I'm proficient in this and that and this and that. I'm just, try to get more proficient every day at getting home safe.
If trouble arises, you can handle it, but you're not going to cause trouble.
If we're walking down a dark alley, something jump off, you'd be glad I was with you. I would like to feel the same way about you.
I don't think you're going to feel that way.
I'll try my best, though.
Yeah, I'd like to feel the same about you, sir.
That is funny, man.
Hi, this is Michael Cooper, and you listen to TFU Podcast.
My partner is Martin Lesak.
Okay.
And Martin represented me and a kid that he had me see when he was looking at actors, and he saw this kid. He said, I want you to come see this kid. Mm-hmm. I love him. I think he's a star. And so I walk in the kitchen at the Comedy Store because he was too young to be out on the floor. And Martin introduced me to this kid named Dave Chappelle.
Damn.
And Dave was 16, right?
Wait a minute, Dave was a rapper?
No, Dave Chappelle, my agent
Okay.
at the time
Okay.
was also my peer because we were of similar age. We just became peers, right? And his name is Martin Lesack.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So Marty had this kid he liked and asked me to come meet him. I said, you just want him to think you cool because you know some black people, man, right? Right. So Marty's that kind of dude. You can play with him like that. He's a really good Jewish brother, man. And so I met Dave Chappelle, and I was like, yeah, that cat's cool.
He was hysterical then?
Yeah. He was supposed to stay in the kitchen. I watched him talk his way from the kitchen into the booth where all the agents were. He ended up sitting with them. They were like, what are you doing out here? He was like, I'm Dave Chappelle. Slide over. And they slid over, and Dave slid. He was 16, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you met him before he was actually Dave Chappelle?
No, he's always been Dave Chappelle.
No, he definitely always been Dave Chappelle.
But I met him before the world knew he was Dave Chappelle. But hell, he always knew he was Dave Chappelle. Like I know I'm Mykelti, you know? You know you AD, right?
Absolutely.
That's it, man. So yeah, so Martin and I, so Dave Chappelle was one of his clients and I was one of his clients. Mm-hmm. I started talking to Martin about the opportunity for hip hop and about the history of hip hop, like what rap really means. He did not know that rap comes before the hip hop, hippity hop. That term was already defined by previous Africans on American soil, right? And it was called rap. It was called rhythmic African poetry.
I told you, when I called you, I never, ever heard that a day in my life.
Yeah.
That's what rap stood for.
Right.
I never knew that, ever.
Yeah.
For now on, where any rapper that comes here, I'm going to ask them immediately, do they know what rap stands for?
Right. Rhythmic African poetry. And
I knew that.
Right. But, well, it was a time I didn't know it. But when I was a kid, I knew what it was. This was way before rap. This was when before people were like popping and locking and all that. It was before that. We knew what rap meant, you know.
When did rap start? And for you, when you first saw it, when they were calling it, you know, rhythmic African poetry,
right.
When they started calling it that, were there songs out or were people actually doing poetry?
Both. It was, people would do poetry sitting on a porch with a harmonica player, or they'd be the harmonica player and they'd be doing the poetry and they'd be rapping, dropping some rhythmic African poetry. And then when you find an African queen that you really want to mac to, in her ear you drop some rap, some rhythmic African poetry.
That's crazy.
But you land on her vibe, your vibe, ride that rhythm, bring that rhythm together if possible, but don't force it. And make it rhythmic African poetry. And that's what your relationship should be with everybody. They don't have to be part of who you are, but that's the culture. We're supposed to be spreading rhythmic African poetry. We ain't supposed to be spreading, look at my boobies.
Right.
That ain't part of the poetry, man. That's, okay, you get paid. If that's the most important thing, get your stack.
When do you feel like it changed?
When people stop believing.
Do you think it was after like Malcolm X assassination, Martin Luther King assassination? Do you think that those things propel people in a certain direction where they stop believing?
This is what I think. I'll take you back when when I was a little kid, growing up in Memphis, Tennessee, summers, my parents were trying to find the right Air Force dad, so they're moving around, and we'd go when they found a place. Mm-hmm. We would settle, but we spent the summers and one semester of school and then summer in Memphis, Tennessee, right? So in the South, we'd walk down the street with my grandma and Big Mom, and we'd see a person of another culture coming this way. So she would back herself off the sidewalk, back us off the sidewalk, right? And cover our eyes. She'd be squeezing our little peanut heads, but she'd be squeezing our eyes like, and she said, don't y'all even try to look up. Do not look up. You understand me? boys, you listening to Big Mama? We go, yes, ma'am. And we keep our eyes down, but I check the shoes and the clothes out when they went by, but I would never pick my head up because my life was in danger in the South. When I was a kid, we didn't even have the right to vote. It's the Civil Rights Act of 1965. I was born in 1957.
It's hard to believe that stuff was not too long ago when you start talking about the number. We were just there almost.
I know. But when we lost Dr. King, it was very different. When we lost Brother Malcolm, it was different. But for the people who I think we all had courage, but we decided to represent our courage a different way.
Right.
You know, the Black Panthers.
Right.
Right? That was courage and love. That's love to live, to stay alive. It's what that is. We love our lives, our wives, our children. Mm-hmm. We love our rhythmic African poetry so much. We ain't trying to do you no harm. It's like just let that old stuff go and stop effing with me.
Right.
And everybody, let me make mine, you make yours, we're going to be good.
Now, there was a story that I came across. I guess you were riding your bike and the police pulled you over and they were actually kind of harassing you.
Yeah.
Can you share that story?
Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to go to this park in LA called Sportsman's Park.
Okay.
It's got another name right now, but I'm not going to do everybody's homework for you. Find out what used to be Sportsman's Park.
Right.
That's the park I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I was walking home. I was riding my bike home from Sportsman's to my pad, probably a mile, if that, mile and an eighth, something like that. So I'm riding, and then the police turned around, made a U-turn, and came back, and then asked me whose bike it was. So I said, and I had my hands on the handlebars. I was happy to see him. I was like, oh, man, that's cool, the police, right?
Right.
So I'm sitting there like this. And then he started busting my child. Whose bike is that? I said, what nasty? I said, oh, this is my bike.
Right.
I painted it. It looks like an orange crate, but it's not. I was telling them, but I made it look like an orange. He was like, I don't care. And he just stared at me. He said, I think that bike is stolen. I said, sir, it's not. And then I heard the other officers step up behind me. No hands on guns. They just stepped up behind me. Mm-hmm. I was a little kid, man. So then I guess my shoulders are kind of like that. I'm trying to be cool.
Right.
But I'm hurt now, right? Like, man, I love the police. Why are these dudes coming at me like this?
Right.
What's up? I think cops are cool. Adam 12, all these cool cop shows. Eric Estrada showed everybody some love and like, look at what we can do right now on Chips. Eric Estrada was the dude.
Right.
Right? So that motivated all of us. Man, this cat. So a car of brothers was going the opposite direction. No. Yeah, it was coming by and I saw them look, and then they went way down the street, out of sight, and then they came back the other direction. Okay. And then this time, they were slow enough so the police could feel them. And they were 4 deep, 4 black dudes, right? 4 black men, 4 deep. And then they parked like right down the way, and they were sitting, and I could see their faces, and they were just sitting like this. They had a little quick check-in, and they were sitting like that. Mm-hmm. And then the police said, let's get out of here.
Mm. So was that actually during the time of the Black Panther movement? Because I heard back in the day, that's what they would do. Right. There were always groups.
Right.
Black people back then used to take care of each other.
Yeah, we did.
They used to, yeah.
Yeah, we did. It's you know how, and some of my Latin homies are experiencing this and have been. They go to a place, ain't but 2 Latin couples or 2 Latin brothers or sisters in there, 2 black, y'all just like a fly on the wall. It's just like, it ain't that many of us, right?
Right.
So back in the day, man, we were like, what is up? What's happening? How you doing? Da-da-da. And we introduced ourselves and it was all good. Hey, whatever you're doing, best wishes with that. Yeah, keep me in your prayers, homie. I'm doing this, that, and the other, whoop, wop. That's how it was when I was coming up, right? Now, I go places and black or brown people, just like, they don't be bothered. They don't want to be bothered. And then they find out I'm famous, then they want to take a picture. I go, no. You want me to tell you why? Ask me why.
Why?
And then I tell them why. I said, when I hit the door and I stood there talking to you, you just kind of ignored me. And then I spoke to everybody else. And then you found out that I'm famous. Now you want a picture? No. Nah, man. Next time you see me, call me by my name.
I heard
Look
that.
me up. Look at some of my movies. See what I represent, and enlighten yourself.
Right.
And then call me by my name, and we good. I said we good now, but nah, man, I can't do that. I ain't going out like no chump. That's stupid. Don't make no sense, man. You know.
You talk about your name. How'd your mom and your dad come up with the unique spelling of your name?
It's interesting. I back in the day when I had a 71 Impala, right? And I had it all fixed up and I could get these custom plates. So I put Mykel with the initial T on it, right? And then I was like, that's just drawing too much attention. Let me put them plates in the garage, right? My mom said, I'm really glad you got rid of them plates because there's been some little girls coming by here trying to get knocked up and they following you around telling me, is that Michael T's car? She said, I'm so glad you got that out of here, right? She said, it was setting a trap for you, baby. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because I ain't trying to have a bunch of kids before I'm positioned to take care of them.
Right.
And we meant it. But, some folks make some different decisions, but first we make a decision, then our decision makes us.
That's true. Yeah.
So, but I come from that period in time, man, when we see a black or brown brother and we see each other, it was on. And it was like, because our garage had sofas and chairs and they were fixed up nice. And folk would stay there rent free. And they wasn't black folk. They were immigrants. And my parents were like, no, they could stay back there. They just need a place for a couple of months. And then they go. And they're working. I'm like, okay. They put their papers in. I said, oh, okay, all right.
So then your mom and dad, they spelled your name, like I said, so uniquely.
I got sidetracked.
Okay.
So when I got rid of the license plate, my mom said, I want to show you something. And she was able to show me how my name actually started. And she was like, that something happens and somebody go, how'd you, like almost like a magician?
Right.
Like, how'd you find out that that's who you were? How did you know that? Because we changed your name before you knew, but that's always been your name, what you're doing now. But we changed it to something else because my mom was kind of on the run from an abusive relationship.
Okay.
So she got out of that. She and my stepdad got married. She started a whole new life in a whole other place because my dad was like, and I won't say anymore.
Right.
You could feel it.
Right. No, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's unnecessary to say anymore. You could feel how I thought that was represented while he was here. And I love him as my dad, but man, I'm like, hey, bro, I just try to do it right. You know what I mean?
Man, first of all, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And I love the way you came in here, giving out lessons and teaching us how. Yeah. I think I think people got away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Not being prepared, not being on it, especially when we have a superstar like yourself showing up. And I appreciate that lesson, and we will do better.
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely.
I know you will.
Hey, going back to Heat, like, how long did it take to film that famous gun battle scene in the streets?
Ooh.
The gun battle in Heat was, I believe it was 2 consecutive weekends, 2 or 3 consecutive Sundays. We shot it on Sunday. We blocked traffic downtown. I mean, we as the team, as the company.
Yeah.
And under Michael Mann's direction, I think we made an excellent movie. You know, I'm really proud of Heat, but that sequence took about 2 to 3 Sundays. I don't remember specifically, but it was cool. I just become engaged on that movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. I met my bride, my dream girl. I'm married to her still, brother. You know. You
still smiling.
Man, come on, boy.
Man, so many people nowadays, I ask them about how the marriage is going. They don't, the smile is gone. So I'm happy to see you smiling.
Brother.
You giving me hope.
Bruh.
You giving me hope.
It just, take us to dinner.
Yeah, I would. That's done.
And your lady, she'll feel it.
That's done.
She'll feel it, and
That's
you feel
done.
it too.
That's done.
Get your bread and sop up some of that gravy, boy. Right? Yeah, you take that tortilla and you get that last flavor. Oh man, you better come on, get that flavor, boy.
No, so you work with Michael Mann. It seems like you guys have a good relationship because he brought you on afterwards to come do Ali.
Right, that's exactly right.
And the thing that's crazy about that, I know as far as celebrity heroes, if you were to have one, Muhammad Ali, I heard you mention that a few times. So how did it feel doing that?
Well, I again, my manager, same manager I had, Lori Gilbert, called me one day and said, Muhammad Ali would like to meet you. Wow. I said, really? She said, yes. He read your article in, I believe it's the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
And he said, I want to meet him. He said,
what was the article about? You got to tell me.
He said, I've been watching it.
Okay.
And then I mentioned him as one of my heroes and why specifically he was a hero. Because he didn't change. He didn't change. He grew. But his essence never changed as he became more successful. He just realized that he needs to really use his gifts and his platform. That was his ministry. Boxing was his ministry, man. And what I do is my ministry.
Right.
And we recognize, one another. I recognized him as the cat I should be watching and following. And he recognized me as somebody that learned well from wherever you learned it from. And then he saw that much of it was learned from him. And he said he wanted to meet me. So I spent a Saturday with him. We were at an apartment, a large apartment complex in LA. I'm not going to point it out. And that was his hiding place when he was here. That's where he would get him a place there, an apartment there. And he was with Howard Bingham, his photographer.
Okay.
And Bingham's just taking pictures, and we all talking. And Mr. Ali lays down on the sofa and on his pillow. And then next thing you know, he's doing a corny magic trick. I'm like, man, that's corny, man. What you doing? And then he sleep. Then he wake up and do another corny magic trick. I'm like, man, come on, man. Then he get too close. Man, go brush your teeth, man. What you doing, right? What you do? You just woke up, right? So we had a ball clowning and playing with each other. And I just met Sandra, my bride of 28 years. And he said, you married? I said, no, sir. He said, stop calling me that. Just call me Ali or Muhammad. I said, okay, all right, cool. He said no. I told him no. He said, I got some beautiful daughters. I said, I know. Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Right. So he said, I got an idea. I said, hey, no, listen to me. Let me tell you. No, she's amazing. She's beautiful. I said, I'm good. I said, man, listen, I just met somebody. I think she gonna be it. And so he left it alone. And I went back the next day. We spent the whole day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then I went home. Next day, he wanted me to be back. Just come around lunchtime. I'm gonna sleep in. I say, all right, I got church anyway. He said, church, we ain't gonna talk about that, right? Religion.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna school you too, right?
That's funny.
So yeah. So the next day I get back and we spend the whole day. And he told me, he said, if your situation doesn't work out, you let me know.
He was ready to give you one of them daughters.
I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I have an idea of which one it was. I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay.
Because when I saw them all publicly, there was just something different between us. And I think he could tell. But I'm good, man. I'm married to, the woman I'm married to is 10 times finer than anybody else I've ever seen in my life, man.
I love that. That's awesome. I also noticed, like, when you go do speaking engagements or when you go to red carpet events, she by your side.
That's exactly right, man.
She by your side.
I ain't really about no nonsense. So I like to have my bride with me because people make up stuff. You know, women ask for a kiss. I'm like, come on. I'm just playing. No, you ain't playing. Well, I appreciate that you just playing because I was about to run away from over here with you, right? It's all kind of stuff coming at you.
Right. And
I made a decision to honor my life and my life's journey. That includes my mom's, my sister, my brother. Man, it's rhythmic African poetry. I'm just doing my poetry.
Right.
And I ain't trying to like get caught up in some nonsense, breaking people's heart. That's stupid. I told my wife, I said, when we were dating, I was going to take her to a fight in Las Vegas. And then there's a female executive that was running another actor's company. And that actor was dissolving his company. And this executive sister was sharp. So my girlfriend at the time met her, and we hung out. The sister had a date, and I told my wife, I said, you know what? My girlfriend, I said, instead of taking you, to this fight, I said, let me take, and I called her sister name. Let me give her that ticket, and if she can get herself there, she said she'd never been to a fight, and the cat she worked for was at fights all the time. I'm like, that's your executive director, and you never let that woman have a ticket to a fight? She can fly yourself. Here's your ticket.
Right.
So I gave her the ticket. So she hooked up her flight and got a hotel just on the outside of the city. So we go see this fight. She shows up at the fight. I see her. But when I told my girlfriend, I'm going to take this sister, I'm going to give her this ticket rather. Not take her, but give her this ticket. And then I had 2 first-class round-trip tickets to Maui for me and my girl. I said, you and me, we're going to do this instead, right? So, true story, my wife will confirm it. She said, you just did that to appease me. I said, what? Because you giving that ticket to da-da-da-da-da. I said, hey, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I said, you can have those tickets, or you could take whoever you want. I'm going in the garage and work on my truck a little bit. And then, but lock the door behind you, right? And take the tickets. Take them. First class round trip. At the time, they could be switched to anybody's name, right?
Right.
So I get done working on my car. It's getting too dark. And I come from under my truck with my light, and I look, and my bedroom light is on. I'm like, I mean, you're just burning electricity, wasting money, stupid. Turn the light out, fool. I'm thinking to myself, right? So that light been on all day? No. She's still sitting there, sitting on the side of my bed. And when I came in, I said, hey, I thought you were gone. She said, I'm sorry. I said, what happened? She said, I'm just sorry just the way I talk to you. I understand. Dope. And she let me handle my business and blessed that other sister with that ticket so she could go and network too.
Right.
That sister and I were supposed to start making movies together. And I told my agent at the time, I want to introduce you to the woman that's going to be my executive director. Her salary's this 6 figures, but it's this. I set it aside for 2 years so her salaries can be in escrow. And I want you to meet her. We don't know who she is. And I told them her name. And they, damn, we don't know who she is. So I forced a meeting on them. I said, okay, so you're not going to meet with her? And she said, oh, no, we'll meet with her. So they met with her. And then I get a call from my homegirl. Thank you. That went amazingly well. I'm so excited. They told her, after they saw her, they told her that I wasn't going forward with my company so fast. I just told them I got the money in escrow. But we do have this famous singer who wants to have an acting career and would like you to run her company. We'll do that until he's ready, and we'll let you know when he's ready, when Mykelti's ready. They ain't got nothing to do with it. So they hijacked my executive and stuck him with somebody else. But that's Hollywood. That's the way they play the game.
Wow.
Because you can let people know stuff too early before you are contractually aligned. You know what I mean? Make sure there's a meeting of the mind. Make sure all the paperwork's done.
Right.
Yeah. And you and me, we're supposed to be making movies, man.
Man, I know we talked about things in the past.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, we've done, me and him have done 3 reality shows together.
Okay.
Yeah. And, they're coming out. I think one we posted with one aggregator, and a couple of streaming services have actually picked it up. So yeah, I would love to talk about the movies with you. Speaking of movies, though, the one thing that you shared with me that was always just found it just so amazing is that you talked about not really like you and Denzel, how you guys came up.
Yeah.
And you always kind of mentioned like you guys were always at the end of the casting. Right. It was you two. Right. Who's gonna get it?
Right,
kind of
exactly.
Thing. Maybe you could share some of that, man.
Sure.
I love that story.
Sure. Denzel, still amazing.
Right.
Just, that's my guy.
Right.
That's my brother. Back when we were coming up, there was only one black person.
Yeah.
Back when Hector Elizondo and cats like that, my homies like Eddie James, Edward James almost, it was only one. Pepe Cerna, all the brothers that I came up with on the brown side, right? And so it was one of you and one of you. I don't know if we're going to have any of you. We'll have one of you.
Right.
Okay, I don't know. We'll have one of you. And that's how Hollywood was, right? Not too much flavor in the movies, the TV shows. And I always knew that I was in charge of that. Because when you walk in a room as an actor, people think they're all these big pompous executives. The humble executives. The I don't know what I'm doing and I'm scared executives. They're all in the room watching you. And you got to go in there and change the air.
Right.
When I was coming up, it was just me and Denzel. There was some other brothers. But at the end of a callback, it would always come down to me and D. The T and D. And There was one particular instance where I remember the elevator. I got off the elevator. It went ding, and I walk off the elevator. It's like in the evening. I don't know. I don't remember the studio. Mm-hmm. And Denzel was down the hallway like this, looking. And then when I turned the corner, he said, "I knew it was you." Right? What's up, man? Woo, woo, woo. And if we just caught up, just talked. Now let him go to his corner. I go to my corner, man. I ain't standing there talking at auditions, everybody visiting. Nah, man. I ain't here to visit with you. I'm here. I know why I'm here. I'm getting ready. I've already put a target on it, and I don't want to talk to you no more. I already spoke to you. I'm out of here, huh? And that's me, you know. But when I took that approach, greet everybody, love on everybody, and then, all right, man, I'm going to step to the side. That's when I start separating because they still visiting with each other. I'm like, nah, I don't even want to hear y'all visiting. I tell the assistant, I'm down the hall. If that's okay, I'll be da-da-da. And because you see actors leave. And she says, well, when you see such and such. I said, no, I'll tell you. When I see such and such leave, then I'll know I'm one more after that.
Got it.
She said, yeah. You saw the list? I said, yeah, I signed it. I signed in. I know who's here, right? And then I go in locked and just go get it.
Right.
But D we did Fences on Broadway together. And to be honest with you, that audition to me was the worst because Denzel everybody knows D. So the only approach, if he wants you in this movie, is to give everybody an opportunity to earn it.
Fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Oh, man, I thought I was your boy. You are. That's why you have an opportunity to earn this. Come on in. I'm not going to pick over people like that. You pick yourself, right? So that's D. That's my approach, too. So I thought it was the worst. It actually was like, I felt horrible about it, man. It was on a Friday. I went back home through traffic, got into bed, put my pajamas on. I didn't get out of the bed all night Friday. Saturday during the day, I was just upset with myself. It's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What could have thrown you? Denzel was there, and the director, Kenny Leon, was there, and maybe somebody else, a reader. But what are you doing? And so that evening, my manager, my agent at the time, rest in peace, Gabrielle, told me, she said, how did it go Friday? I said, oh my God, it was the worst audition. I've been in the bed for a day and a half, I told her. She said, are you kidding me? I think we're doing the deal. She said, yeah, we are doing the deal. That's right, we're doing the deal. I said, why didn't you tell me that, man?
Right.
But I didn't know.
Why'd you think you did so bad? Or why did you feel like you did so bad?
First of all, I'm not a perfectionist. I pursue excellence. I hear people say, I'm a perfectionist. I don't think you're that bright. Because you could never be perfect.
Yeah.
So why are you wasting time with that? Why don't you just be excellent? Excelente. What's wrong with you? Just the creator, the Most High, is perfect.
Right.
The stuff that he made is perfect. You actually are perfect, but you don't behave perfectly. But he made you perfect. A lot of people want to trade in who they are for something else now. It's like, why? You're so cool. Figure out your journey, why you are who you are. Don't throw who you are away. Find out why you came here as who you are. Right?
Right.
Yeah. And love on it. Improve on it. Do everything you can. Add value to everybody else's life. And then get on your journey. You know? But all this fighting, like I said, a lot of us, social media has contributed to ensuring that people have become so sensitive that they can very easily be controlled.
Right.
on the other side of social media, do you think it kind of has ruined, like, you know, traditional movies and casting because they're going for not who's the best actor, but who has the biggest following?
It has. If you hire, let me tell you something. It's do you know who Daryl Chill Mitchell is?
I don't think so.
I'm not gonna do your homework for you.
No, I
do
got
it.
you.
Yeah, you do it. Daryl Chill Mitchell. Remember the rap group Groove B Chill? Well, he's the brother who was. Yeah, he's from that group.
Okay.
Talented. You find men like Daryl Chill Mitchell, and you tap the gifts that's in them, and you realize what an amazing actor, storyteller he is. You say, I thought he was a rapper. He's all of it. He's everything. He's a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good one. So you don't say, no, don't hire influencers. I would never say that. But I would offer to influencers, if they are embracing an opportunity to grow their brand or whatever that is, to be responsible with it, and to surround yourself with like real actors that'll pour into you, real people, not just your friends, because we'll tell you the truth, and we're gonna make sure we pour to fill you up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't try to do it by yourself thinking you're invincible. You can't do this business by yourself.
Right.
I have amazing managers, agent, all of that right now, attorneys.
So I think Derek, he's handicapped now, right?
He's in a chair now.
He's in a chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened.
Well, you should invite him sometime, man.
Oh man, we will. We absolutely.
I adore him, man. As an actor, as a human being.
We'll definitely
man.
reach out to him.
Yeah. Who else you should invite is Chubb Rock.
Chubb Rock?
My boy, Chubb Rock.
Okay. Does Chubb Rock live in LA?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to say where he lives on TV.
Okay. Yeah.
But I could connect you.
Oh, I would love that.
He's a phenomenal cat.
You know, they feel like Biggie stole his style. I don't know if that's true or not, but I listen to it. They always make that comparison.
Well, I wouldn't say Biggie stole anything. Biggie is influenced by his style.
Okay.
Very much so.
Right.
And it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Because Biggie put his own with it.
Right.
And then it's boom. You know what I mean? But you gotta be inspired by somebody. And Biggie was inspired by Chubb Rock. And Biggie's just, there's only been one of those.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I remember.
Yeah, man.
I remember Chubb Rock around with Heavy D.
That's it.
Yeah. That whole little thing that was going on. That's when the big men was in charge.
Heavy D.
Yeah.
Dwight, the overweight lover.
Overweight lover.
He was smooth, man.
Absolutely.
And that's another good actor.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing movies.
I saw him on stage in a play directed by Delroy Lindo.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
He was cool.
Now, you did one of my favorite TV shows of all time, man.
Okay.
Nobody loved 24 more than me.
Mm.
Man, I loved you at 24. I was so happy to see you there, but because I just love 24.
Yeah.
Then when did you meet Kiefer?
I met Kiefer through his work first.
Okay.
And then when we did Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
You mentioned that, yeah.
He called me in. He wanted to meet me,
Mm-hmm.
sit down and talk to me about this role. I read the script, went in and sat down with Kiefer. We talked about the money. He got real. He told me what it was. We shook hands. And Kiefer was the first filmmaker who told me what the deal was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that without any trickery the entire time.
Oh, I love that.
Usually other people tell you that, but then their business affairs people or their people start trying to see if you would fall for that little explosion or that one. Pop a firecracker, see if you jump. I'm like, I grew up around firecrackers, fool. What's wrong with you? Right? I'm not jumping. That's what he said the deal was. Call us back when that's what it is.
So when did he call you for 24? Because I know you did the movie with him, and did he obviously he remembered you and said, "Come do 24," because he produced it, right?
Well, yeah, but we've remained close.
Okay.
All these years, and but yeah, Kiefer produced it, and 24 that is, and I remember I got an audition call. I drove out to the Valley, like Chatsworth, somewhere out that way, and auditioned. And then in the car, I get the call, yeah, it's done, we're doing the deal, da-da-da. And so after I auditioned, so I went back for a wardrobe fitting another day, and I saw Kiefer that day. It was the day following. And he said, "Thank you so much for doing this show." I said, "Man, thank you for the audition, man." He said, "Audition?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You auditioned for this?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "What the I told them to hire you. Hold on." And he went right into the casting person's office. And he said, "We're going to have a conversation. You just embarrassed me in front of my friend. Why is he auditioning for this show? Didn't I tell you to call him?" And da-da-da-da. And she was like, it's, he said, "I understand. It's not you." He says, "I'll deal with it."
Got it.
And he apologized to me. I was like, "I didn't mind auditioning." I'm like,
Right.
That's fine. But he was like, "No, I wanted you." That's what I told him. But 24 was stressful.
It's a stressful show.
It's stressful because there's something called dramatic pace. And then there's something called elevated dramatic pace. 2024 was elevated dramatic pace. It was like the Maltese Falcon back in the day, where everybody's talking really fast and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that goes back to a character principle. Smart people think faster. I mean, you could use that with your characters. You can slow them down and dumb them down.
Right.
You can speed up. Some people can answer you before you even finish your question. Smart. Smart people think faster. It's a character principle, right? So that's the way the show runs. Everybody there is really smart, so it goes really fast. And it was stressful. And I had something that I would use. They would give me all the exposition. The exposition is, here's why you're in my office, and here's the problem that's coming down, and here's who's offended, and here's that, where you tell people what the whole show is about. It's called exposition. Most actors don't want anything to do with it. It's like, why am I telling everybody what the movie's about? Just show them, don't tell them.
Right.
But some people in their formula, they just want to make sure people don't miss it. If they come in the room late, "Oh, that's what this is." Okay, all right, I'm with you. Now they can ride with you. I get it. But it's stressful. Exposition, because it's not the way people really talk, but you have to turn it into you have to interpret it into a conversational way of telling somebody that this is why we're here and da-da-da-da-da-da. It has to really be conversational. Like, okay, here's why I hate that we're here, but here's why. The general da-da-da-da-da got a call from the president. The general was not happy when he got his call from the president, da-da-da, because this, that, and the other. So you break it down like that. But it's called exposition.
So that was intentional.
It was intentional. It's always intentional.
Okay.
Within the structure.
Was it written like dialogue, or you just had to?
No, it's written like that, but you have to make it conversational. I have to take your words. I'm going to try something with you. I call it the Odetta principle.
Okay.
Here's a line. How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Odetta.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta? All right.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Change it.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Change it.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Believable. Don't act.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Change it. Don't act.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Change it. Don't act.
How much for a slice of cake, Odetta?
Okay. there's also this world. How much? For a slice of cake? Odetta! Expand your world, bruh. You right in front of yourself, acting right in front of you. It's like anybody can do that. It's ridiculous. Open up the space, and it's not an insult to you, but that's why I'm who I am, and you.
That's why you're a legend.
Exact. Well, I don't know about that part. But that's why I'm proficient at what I do, because I'm gonna expand that world for you as much as possible. Because if that's the only time in the show that's said, they may want to create an Odetta or a Barbara, Uncle Benny. They may want to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So expand your universe by expanding theirs. That's what I do, man.
Now that was deep.
Is there a lot of trickery in Hollywood when it comes to, contracts?
You think it's just in Hollywood?
No, I think all in the world, but we're...
So there's your answer. Yeah. It's not just in Hollywood. It's everywhere.
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 Where they tell you, this is what you're going to get, and then later on you're like, oh, in the fine print, actually, there's a little section here.
Well, anything that can be monetized, there's going to be some competition for that pool of monetization. You understand?
Yeah.
So if there's a pool of monetization, folks want to slice it out that pool, right? So if they can cut other folks out of it, it's more for them. But if you can convince them that they should cut you in, and then you're gonna make sure it's more for everybody, because you're gonna grow it bigger. You're gonna expand it with your talent, your gifts, right? So that's the negotiation of the actor, and it happens in the room. You negotiate in the room. That's what I was telling a few actors. It's like the agents, a lot of times they can help you. But if you go in the room and you don't love what you did and you get the offer, just try to stay close to the offer, because you didn't crush it. But if you go in the room and you crush it, and you can see everybody's excitement.
Right. It's an opportunity there.
It's an opportunity.
Right.
They see it, you see it. Make sure your team knows that I can afford to say no on this one. I've been saving my money, but instead, I remember one of my agents told me, somebody offered me $5,000 a week for something. It's back in the day, way back, right? Mm-hmm. My agent called me and told me, and I said, nah, 15. And she said, you've never made $15,000. I said, that's okay. It's always the first time.
I've been saving my money.
Yeah, I told her I've been saving my money, and I'm good. I'm willing to see what I'm worth to the marketplace.
There you go.
So she said they'll never give it to you. Then another agent called me from the agency, said, we'll see if we can get him to 10. I said, why would you do that? I said 15. I'm good. I ain't scared, man. You got other clients. Maybe you could get somebody else a job if I break the ceiling.
Right.
But I'm ready to learn. I'm about to see, because I know what I did in that room, man. I changed the air in that room, homeboy. And those are the times when I gave myself a raise.
I heard that. That's big. People need to know that.
Yeah, but now you can, they can see it. Yeah.
Nah, I
But
love that.
Yeah, if it's just okay and it's just okay, or people hyping them up, just go in there. I worked on, as a director, some Dick Wolf shows. There's one show during COVID, I ended up staying longer because when I was there directing, remember there was a 10-day holding period when you first, where you had to stay at your hotel for 10 days. Then you could go, you get tested and you go to work. And then when you get back to LA, you had to stay at a hotel for 10 days. And so I was doing that. So I was away from home a long, long time, man. And this one actress, bless her heart, came to LA in the middle of the episode for a weekend, but when she got back on the plane, she got word before she landed that the driver that took her to the airport tested positive. So she had to sit for 10 days. I had to shoot as much stuff around her as possible, but I also had some days where it was an insurance day, but the insurance company's paying for it, right? So my money's still the same, but it's getting bigger now because it's based on per day.
Okay.
So instead of making, let's say, like 70, 75 grand, you're going to make 120 grand now.
Right.
Because somebody tested positive. So I'm like, okay, so I'm away from home. So my wife was like, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
I love you. We could get on the computer. We'll see each other. So I ended up giving some of that money back because it actually squeezed them on something else. They had a person of color directing, and I saw that she was costing them money. And they were shooting at the same time I was shooting. So I saw what had happened. And so I gave them I sat down with them. I said, I saw what happened in your budget. I saw this and I know about that. They were like, really? I was like, yeah. I said, so I tell you what, I'm gonna give y'all some of that back so you don't hold it against her. She's really good, but.
Right. So you had the conversation. She wasn't even in the room?
She wasn't in the room.
That's awesome.
So I gave some of the money back, right? But my representative at the time said, this is the first time they say anybody's ever given them money back. I was like, well, I think that's a really good director. And a budget is a budget.
Mm-hmm.
So just, I'm going to give this money. I ain't going to give it all back. I ain't stupid, but I know what you guys are over this much. So here, take that. And then, take that as toward it.
Did she ever find out that she?
Nah, I hope she doesn't. She doesn't need to.
Wow.
When you can help somebody, man, you just help them. You don't help them with strings attached. I'm like,
no, I get that.
I don't want nothing she got. I'm like, respect, whatever. But I'm like.
But sometimes, you know what I feel like? Because we have a gentleman that we do, he comes on the show and he tells all these amazing stories. I just think these kinds of stories need to get out there because I think they motivate people to do things that may be out of their character.
Right.
Maybe like you hear about something really good and then you find yourself in a situation and then that kindness leaks over.
Yeah.
That's why right. I always feel like I wish some of those stories got out just because, you helped the director. She don't even know it.
Right.
And she might find herself in a similar situation and then she loans help. I just, that's just the way I kind of
understand.
That's the way I kind of think about life sometimes.
Yeah, but by the same token, when you know these people,
mm-hmm.
you give them a chance to show you. They have an opportunity all the time to show you their growth areas and how they've grown.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alejandro not giving me attitude
mm-hmm.
when I pour into him, because that comes with some correction.
Right.
I'm going to just steer you this way. Let me correct your path. You headed over there. Let me steer you that way. All right, yeah, you'll get there. You keep going that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's but as long as younger generations can receive it, and understand it,
mm-hmm.
and not get upset, like telling me what you talking down to me, talking down to you. What are you talking about?
Right.
You didn't know it. It's obvious you didn't know it, or you would have done it.
Right. So when you work on movies like ATL,
yeah,
and you're introduced to like rapper turned actors and a lot of young actors, are you the same person on that particular set too?
Yeah. Well, the reason I was on ATL, Charlie Mack and Will can both tell you this. JL, they asked me if I would help them. They wanted somebody seasoned
mm-hmm.
with the right attitude and the right skill set with chops that these young cats could. They wanted somebody in the center that they could observe and see me roll and see how I move, so they kind of learn how to do it
mm-hmm.
and kind of keep them in alignment. But it's interesting because on ATL, everybody there was like really, they wanted to be there.
Mm. Okay.
And T.I. is not going to let you outwork him. He's watching everything. He's a sponge, man. Brothers, he was so sharp. I was so impressed. And then his friend, I think he has a child named after his friend that he lost after ATL named Falant.
Mm-hmm.
He named his kid Falant. And but you could tell from the way the cat that had his back rolled and the way T.I. rolled that he was a quality dude. He wasn't taking no shorts. You know what I mean? And a young man, you got to give us grace when we're young, because we're gonna make some decisions that we won't make later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All of us, we all did, man. So I try to cut people some grace, and and not expect them to know everything. But he's the kind of cat, when he sees it, he's got it.
Right. When I saw him in that movie, and then I seen him in, I think it was American Gangster with Denzel.
Yeah.
I watched him and I was like, that dude's special.
Yeah.
That dude's like he in these roles, he's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he seemed like he was is there such thing, and you know you're a skilled actor and you've done all the work. Is there something as a natural actor? Because I don't know if he's taken all those classes. It just seemed like he was kind of like Tupac in a sense, kind of gifted.
But no, Tupac was an actor first.
Oh, see, I don't know that.
Like Erykah Badu.
Oh, so he took acting classes.
Yeah, he was an actor. He was a trained actor. He went to a high school of performing arts.
Okay. And so, what about T.I.?
I don't know his journey, but he's a real artist. He's a real storyteller.
Mm.
And he leaned into it. And the stuff that Chris Robinson directed it, ATL. And Chris was a music video director at the time, transitioning to the cinema side. And Will Smith and his company believed in him and gave him a shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believed in him. I showed up. I was like, who's directing? They said, Chris Robinson. I said, oh, the music video cat? They said, yeah. I said, how is he? They said, he's directing our movie, so we believe in him. I said, all right, cool. All right, I'm in, right? But I was there to help just so they could see you need to pivot sometimes, and the work is everything. When we're young, we want to go out, we want to be out, we want to do all this. I told them, I'm going to go out with y'all one time. And then don't bother me no more, man, with this. Because this is about the work. I said, how many of y'all got a suit? You got a suit in your bag? Nobody. I said, man, you ain't supposed to go on the road as an actor. You carry a suit, a couple of crispy shirts, and a tie, and some nice shoes, right? Because the producers may invite you to dinner, and the mayor's there, these dignitaries are there, all these. You're an actor. Have a suit in your bag, man, so you can suit up. Even if you don't wear it, bring it, right? And so they said, you know what, man? We went and looked at suits. One of the weekends we were there, they went and looked at suits together, all the young cats. So I was like, they're listening.
Right.
They're listening. What's the young sister, Lauren?
Yeah.
Everybody phenomenal. They were a dream to be around, all of them. Big Boy was legit. When he showed up and started spitting as an actor, I was like, I said, you know, if I see a false moment, I'm going to tell you. He said, oh, I know that, OG. I ain't coming up here playing. And he didn't. Yeah, Big Boy's something else, man. He's special, too.
Mm.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get used to fame? Or you never get used to it? Like, every time you're walking down the street, there's going to be somebody's like, hey, can I take a picture? It's like, and all that.
Well, there's a saying. Famous people just want to be normal. And normal people just want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. The more recognized you are, success is built on inconvenience. It's not always convenient when people run up on you, but you're successful because they're watching you and you get to meet them in person. A lot of us think they get to meet us. Nah, you get to meet them in person, and they watch your movies. They buy your records. It's like, what? You really buy my stuff? It's like you get to meet them, man. Thank you so much, man. Tell everybody. Buy them all a movie for Christmas. That's what I tell them. I'm going to do that. Yeah, buy them all a DVD. Yeah. But you know, man, it's, yeah, life is something. The whole thing is finding out what your kryptonite is. It's like, what's your kryptonite? Mm-hmm. I have a speaking engagement coming up soon, and I'll talk more about what's your kryptonite. For me, some of the kryptonite, you know, the planet Krypton was destroyed by kryptonite.
Right.
But Superman, in the Moses allegory, was gotten out of harm's way and sent to the earth, right? Like Moses was sent down the river, Ethiopia. So if you understand that Superman, as strong as he is, there's something from his past that could destroy him. There's kryptonite. And some of it got, boom, blown out into the universe, and it ended up different places. Those are pitfalls. As Superman, we all have pitfalls, man. And his folk out here got some kryptonite for you, too. For me, kryptonite. If I know you need me here, I know it takes a driver. It takes me an hour to drive. I leave an hour and 30, 45 minutes early.
Got it.
Here's why. If I leave an hour ahead of time and somebody impedes my flow, making one of their decisions, I'm going to be offended. I'm going to be pissed off. You can't drive. Look at this fool. What is this idiot doing? I'm in my car doing that. That doesn't represent anybody well. It's idle words, negative words coming out your mouth, right? So for me, that's kryptonite. I don't want that life. So I leave early. Now, if my wife, and this is our understanding, if I don't need that stress. So if I'm trying to leave an hour and a half early and my wife finishes her makeup and we have an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 29 minutes instead of an hour and 30 minutes, I'm in the passenger seat with the keys. I got her water. I got me one. What else you need, baby? She's driving. I ain't driving. Because that's stress. It's like, I told you what I needed to do to pull this off.
Right.
Now my clock in my head is off. You know what I mean? I'm like trying to make up time, and I may be a little aggressive driving, and then somebody else, and it's not going to be a good time in the car. Because I'm going to be, even if I don't say a word, you'll feel it. And that's pouring into my system, that toxicity. So that's kryptonite for me, man. So I leave early all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, just got. What's your kryptonite, brother? Just figure it out.
Yeah.
Women is sort of my kryptonite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be able to hold my emotions so much. And I don't let them now that I'm staying away from them, but I can see how it could be used against me.
Well,
Helping Mykelti. He needs some help.
okay.
What's your kryptonite?
I already told you.
But you don't really have to tell other people what your kryptonite is. You got some.
Oh, I definitely got some.
Yeah, I have some too. But it's the women thing. Listen, men are hunters. I'm gonna tell you just like this. I'm gonna break it down for you. I hope you understand this nugget I'm about to drop on you. Men are hunters by nature. The reason men get caught up and distracted and delayed is because they're surrendering to distraction.
That's true.
You have a decision in it too. If you look down for a big booty, you're going to find one. It's going to be one there. Eventually your eye's going to go down. It's going to be some flat ones. It's going to be one that's just right. It's going to be some other ones too. Men are hunters. A lot of us get in trouble because we, like they say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. We get in trouble because we don't stay focused. The greatest lesson I learned was about myself was that I was a hunter. But when you're hunting, with that comes a tremendous responsibility. You got to understand what to hunt. I learned to scuba dive, start flying airplanes. I get better and more proficient at certain fighting styles, certain things. I get better at screenwriting. I get better at directing. I get better at editing. I just get better at music, playing saxophone, trumpet, harmonica, whatever. Because you got to have something in front of you that you're hunting to get better, or you'll end up distracted chasing some tail. That's just tail. You could wash that off. And then you look stupid because you gave up way too much of your time over some tail.
Got it.
It's just tail, homie. It's going to be plenty of tail. Here, all right, I'm going to give you a nugget. My daddy taught me. He said, this will explain everything for you, all right? He said, son, I see you down there with them little girls. I said, yes, sir. Yeah. He said, never forget this. He said, women, he said, a man who keeps a lot of women will eventually run out of money. But a man who keeps a lot of money will never run out of women.
Ooh.
Did you hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Get your money, man. My mom gave me a nugget, which is how I met my bride. She said, stop telling these little women all your plans and your aspirations and your dreams and all that dream building. Stop doing that. Let them be what kind of woman you like, what you like in a woman. She said, stop doing all that. She said, be who you are and let them be who they are and see if that's the kind of woman you want. Stop coaching them. And that was a turning point for me. To stop coaching these little dames, sweet talking, you know, it's that rhythmic African poetry. You know what I mean? It was about blase, blase, blase. Stop doing that and see what you got. Tell me what you like. Nah. Nope. You know. If I didn't like you, you wouldn't be in my car in the first place.
Right.
But you got to see what that is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And people will tell you who they are, and when they do, believe them.
They are who they are. No amount of coaching would change them.
People, you can, listen, if you coach somebody and they start acting, when they see something else they want, they'll stop acting for you and start acting for that.
Oh, that makes sense. I knew exactly what your mom was talking about.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, I knew exactly.
Yeah.
He was
So
like,
I just
shoot,
wanna
I
make
better
sure
do
you
everything
got it.
I could do to stick around. This dude about to take over the world.
Right.
I know
That's right.
exactly what she's talking about.
That's right, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Now I got it. Now I know you recently you kind of like shifted your time towards acting. Are you still into acting or are you just full on directing now?
No. I'm
or is it both?
It's both.
Okay.
It's all of the above. When I leave here, the remainder of the day, I'm polishing something I wrote.
Okay.
I just let you in on my time because it's you.
Right. No, I appreciate
And you got it like that with me. I'm like, I can write later. I just want to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Connect with my dude, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but just getting projects tighter because there's real interest in these projects now.
Right.
And so, you know, I just want to monetize what we got.
Right. How many films have you directed thus far?
Films, I would say.
Or just TV shows, and I mean, just in all of it in its totality.
All of it.
Yeah, because I know you kind of started doing that, and I'm not sure if you just doing them all now.
Well, I do the good shows like Chicago PD. I direct Chicago PD.
Right.
I direct Chicago Med. FBI, Sweet Magnolias for Netflix, movies for other stations like Hallmark, Mahogany Channel. I just move around, man. Whenever there's something really good to do, then I just want to help elevate it, take it to the highest level.
Right. Why when they do TV shows, because I always thought it was interesting that they bring in different directors for TV shows. You would think it's the same director the whole time, but they're constantly bringing in different directors. Why is that?
Well, the director has to understand the style of the show.
Okay.
And the sensibilities within storytelling. Because it takes, when I was coming up in television as a director, and an actor, it took 7 days, like all the, like Little House on the Prairie and all those shows, right? Father Murphy, Bonanza, all those shows took 7 days to shoot when I was a kid. Took 7 days.
To shoot one show?
To shoot one show.
One
show. 1 hour show.
Got it.
Right? But you also had 7 days of prep. When you get there, you're going through the script, you're tightening up the script, you're finding your locations, where you want to shoot, So there's 7 days of that. Then there's 7 days of actual production. And then there's a couple of days of post-production where you edit and deliver the thing, right? So now it's like 9 days. And I was on a show that's a 9-day show, but I ended up shooting it in 8 days because of the style. And some people got upset because I shot a show that takes other directors 9 days. I was done shooting it in 8.
Right.
So the next director got to speed up and he got to get to work shooting his episode. So they actually lose a day of prep because I'm coming faster.
Do you get paid by the day?
No.
Oh, okay.
If I get a rate, and then if we go past that each day, I get paid more.
Got it.
But so does the crew. That's why you don't go over schedule.
Right. Because it's hard to get called back to do another show right after that.
If you can't, if I bring you in,
right,
you bring me in, I don't finish your show, and you got to write a check now to everybody to do another half day.
Yeah.
You don't want to see me coming, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you doing? Hey, how you doing? It's like,
get him out of here.
I ain't doing it with you.
And which do you love the best? Acting
it's a different
or directing?
Kind of, it's a different kind of love.
Oh, okay.
It's like loving your wife, your children, your mom, your siblings. It's all love. It's just a different kind of love. That's all, man.
Got it.
Yeah.
And who are your biggest influences?
Well, Muhammad Ali, my mom. My mom was an accountant who ended up raising her kids by herself. So I saw a superhero.
Yeah.
You know. So she was an influence. Down the street from me was a cat named Leo Johnson. I don't know what Mr. Johnson did for a living, but he was lean, he was buff. He rode horses. He was a member of an organization called the Buffalo Soldiers. And there was a show called High Chaparral. It's a Western. And the High Chaparral, there's an episode called Buffalo Soldier. Well, my neighbor was the lead actor in that episode. And they rehearsed their formations on my block when I was a kid. That was Leo Johnson. Mr. Johnson had the Buffalo Soldiers on my block, and they came on TV on High Chaparral. I was like, wow, that's on my block they rehearsing. I was like, so I always felt I could do it, man. I just didn't know how.
Right.
But I always believed it belonged to me.
I love it.
Yeah, you just try to figure out how to get it. I know it's mine, but how do I get it? You know, it's all good.
Hey, man, it has absolutely been a pleasure, man, to have you here. We totally appreciate you. We don't want to take up too much of your time.
AD. Appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, man.
Alejandro.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.